Sharing art is the price of making it. Exposing your vulnerability is the fee. So I've been probably wanting to make this YouTube channel for a year and a half now. And I think this is the 8th video I've made. I can't tell you how much I've ideated and messed around and changed names of channels and written and done everything but post. And what I realize now, as I feel like I'm exploding with all of this art that's in me, is that you've never truly made art until you've shared it. I love this. I love being able to think about my life and my radiance, the effect I have on the world and my exchange with it as art. For so long, I've thought that I have to create something of worth in the world to then be worthy. But the shift that's happening at the moment for myself and for everybody on the planet is going from needing to create something on the outside of you to you being that creation. So you are the epiphany. So what's the deal then? What's the importance of sharing this? Well, a few points. One is that you need to share yourself to be able to get feedback on who or what you are. You aren't just a silo, just something that exists in a vacuum. You are intrinsically linked with the world around you. The world doesn't exist without you, and you don't exist without the world. In a way, plants are your external lungs because they draw in external organs because they are eating and digesting the sun, which then you take in. So when you interact with the world, then you learn a little bit more about yourself. When you just stay in your own little silo, which is basically your mind, then you have all of your thoughts, beliefs, and identity that is filtering through all of this information. And your past will matter because that is what you use to justify and explain what is or isn't working in your life. As I go deeper and deeper into shadow work, which I refer to as the Odyssey realm of things, I start to see how much of my life is just patterns that are repeating. And I think that I'm free, but upon closer and uncomfortable inspection, I noticed that, wow, I'm just patterns playing out over and over again. And no matter how much I meditate and sit in silence and observe the mind, there is still a being here that gets up and interacts with the world. And certain things trigger me, certain things don't trigger me. Certain lessons are still underway, certain things have been completely learnt. So that's why I mention about sharing our art, because you're not going to know the patterns that are working in you, that are playing out in your life, unless you truly engage, and not just engage on the surface level, but actually engage with what's on your heart, becoming really vulnerable, really putting that stuff out there. And why art? Because that is an expression of our heart that kind of goes beyond our mind. So if I was to ask you to share something vulnerably with somebody, you would maybe go up into your head and think about all the vulnerable things, all the things you're embarrassed about, or those kinds of things. But those are not really the true vulnerabilities. The true vulnerabilities are the silent feelings and emotions, the undercurrents playing throughout your life. They dance in between bliss and pure suffering. And these are the things that we keep so concealed, and we protect them with every little bit of ourselves that we can, and we struggle. And that defense, that's exactly the thing that keeps us away from happiness. So sharing ourselves vulnerably, like this video right now, then that's the way we can see ourselves. And being vulnerable is a gift to everybody around you. It opens up the heart and it takes away the defenses, kind of like a puppy or a kitten, so defenseless that you hold it so delicately and treat it so well. But if there was an animal that was vicious and had huge defenses, then you can be defensive against it or even kind of attack it. So that's the same thing, the willingness to be vulnerable, not just vulnerability for vulnerability's sake, but to share your art, to share the thing you really care about. So I feel like that was maybe a very roundabout way of saying things, and also just admitting to myself being on this path of sharing my vulnerability, which is me just speaking to you right now. So I wish you all the best, and I'll speak to you next time.